If you are 80 years old and still quietly doing a few simple things each day, there is a good chance you are winning at life more than you realize. Many men reach this age carrying questions they never say out loud. Questions about whether they mattered enough, whether they chose the right paths, whether the quiet years ahead still hold meaning. If that sounds familiar, know this: you are not alone, and you are not behind. At this stage of life, success no longer looks like trophies or titles. It looks quieter, deeper, more human. Today I want to share 3 gentle signs that, even at 80, you're living a life that truly counts. The first sign is this: you still take time to care for something beyond yourself. It might be as small as watering a plant every morning, feeding birds on the balcony, checking on a neighbor, or making sure your home feels welcoming. I once met an older man who lived alone after his wife passed away. Every evening he carefully set the table for one, placed a napkin just right, and ate without rushing. When asked why, he said, "Because life still deserves respect." That simple act wasn't about routine. It was about dignity. When you continue to care for a living thing, a space, or a person, you are saying yes to life. You are choosing presence over withdrawal. This is a quiet victory many never achieve. The lesson here is simple but profound. Caring keeps the heart open. It reminds you that you are still needed, still connected, still alive in the deepest sense. Even the smallest act of care carries meaning far beyond what others can see. The second sign is this: you have learned to make peace with what you cannot change. By 80, life has taken things from you. Strength may not be what it once was. Friends may be fewer. Certain dreams may remain unfinished. Yet winning at life does not mean escaping loss. It means learning to sit beside it without bitterness. There was a man who once shared how, for years, he replayed the mistakes of his youth every night before sleep. Regrets about work, about words spoken too harshly, about time not given to his children. One evening, he said he simply stopped arguing with the past. He told himself, "I did the best I could with who I was back then." That moment changed everything. Peace is not forgetting. Peace is understanding. When you can look back without punishing yourself, when you allow your story to be human rather than perfect, you gain a freedom that youth never offers. This kind of acceptance is wisdom earned the hard way, and it is a powerful sign of a life well lived. The third sign is this: you still find meaning in simple moments. At 80, joy often becomes quieter. It may arrive as morning light through a window, a familiar song on the radio, a warm cup of tea held in both hands. Some men feel ashamed that their world has grown smaller. But a smaller world can still be a deep one. There was an elderly gentleman who walked the same short path every afternoon. To others it looked repetitive. To him it was sacred. He noticed the seasons change. He remembered which tree bloomed first each year. He said, "When you slow down enough, life starts speaking again." Finding meaning in small moments is not settling, it is mastery. It shows that you have learned to listen, to appreciate, to be present. That is not fading. That is refinement. Now, let me speak to you directly for a moment. If you carry loneliness, it makes sense. If you feel forgotten at times, that pain is real. If you regret things you can no longer fix, you are human. None of this makes you weak. It makes you honest. You have lived through change, loss, responsibility, and pressure that few fully understand. You survived days when you had to be strong for others while having no one to lean on yourself. You deserve compassion, especially from yourself. You are not a burden. You are not obsolete. Your life holds value simply because you are here. Your presence, your memory, your quiet resilience matter more than you were ever taught to believe. If forgiveness feels difficult, start gently. Forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now. Forgive your body for aging. Forgive life for being imperfect. Peace grows when resistance softens. Here are a few simple ways to nurture your well-being in this season of life. First, Create one small daily ritual that brings calm. It could be a slow morning stretch, a prayer, a walk, or sitting quietly with a warm drink. Let it be yours alone. Second, speak to someone regularly, even briefly. A phone call, a message, or a few words exchanged with a neighbor can soften isolation more than silence ever will. Third, write or reflect on one thing each day that still feels meaningful. It doesn't have to be big. Meaning grows when it is noticed. Fourth, allow yourself rest without guilt. Rest is not giving up, is honoring the miles you have already walked. And finally, if family feels distant, take one gentle step toward connection. A simple message, a shared memory, or a kind word can reopen doors without pressure. As we come to the end of this message, remember this: aging is not a decline into nothingness. It is a return to what truly matters. The noise fades. The truth remains. You are not fading. You are becoming wiser, softer, and more deeply human. If this message brought you comfort, consider joining our community. You are not alone. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Graceful Aging for more gentle wisdom and new videos that support your journey.